90.3 FM. What are we talking about today? A former spokesperson for the Northern Elders Forum, Hakim Baba Ahmed, has predicted that the African Democratic Congress ADC may suffer internal crisis and defections after its convention ahead of the 2027 presidential election, citing a clash of interest within the party. He said ADC will bleed after its convention because almost certainly Vice President Atiku Abubakar will the ticket ahead of Peter Obi. Similarly, a public affairs analyst, Jide Ojo, believes Peter Obi is likely to leave the ADC for another party after the 2027 primaries in ADC. Now, all this happened during an interview with Seun Okinbaloye of Channel Television. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be beaming a spotlight on the African Democratic Congress ADC, and we are going to analyze the statement of these two persons, the former spokesperson of Northern Elders Forum, Hakim Baba Ahmed, and the public affairs analyst, Jide Ojo. This is all we're going to be talking about today on Matters. You can call me Solo, you can call me Mr. Solo, you can call me Souls, S-O-L-S, you can call me Mr. Souls, but officially I am Solomon Offem. Welcome to Matters. Tuning in, this is Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Let me reintroduce our topic for discussion. Now, a former spokesperson for the Northern Elders Forum, Hakim Baba Ahmed, predicted 2 days ago that the African Democratic Congress ADC may suffer internal crisis and defections after its convention ahead of the 2027 presidential election, citing a clash of interest within the party. Speaking on television with Seun Okinbaloye of Channel Television on Tuesday, Baba Ahmed said former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is likely to emerge as the party's presidential candidate, a development he believes could trigger a mass exodus of members. According to him, several interests within the party will feel sidelined if Atiku secures the ticket. He said ADC will bleed after its convention because almost certainly Vice President Atiku Abubakar will get the ticket. He noted that ADC currently hosts several high-profile political figures whose competing interests are likely to clash once the party begins selecting its presidential ticket. Let's take a listen to an insert of that interview.
About party primaries, especially having to go head-to-head with Atiku Abubakar. That man seems to have a master stroke in winning party primaries.
Are you talking about Wike now?
Atiku Abubakar. And I'm saying whether or not Peter Obi needs to learn something from Nyesom Wike. Sometimes when you lose, you have a lot of wisdom to share in your loss. And I'm saying that for those who think Peter Obi, the only reason why Peter Obi will be in the ADC is because he's going to be the flag bearer of the ADC. And people are forgetting that there's a Rotimi Amechi in the ADC. Yes. People should ask Bola Tinubu who Rotimi Amechi is when he ran against him in for the ticket of the party.
Yeah.
And perhaps you should go and ask Ian some week the kind of dramatic political game Atiku played against him in the PDP 2023 political primary. And that's what I'm saying. It looks very dicey, isn't it? But it looks like they are very strong candidate that could be the flag bearer.
I think almost certainly, and I'm guessing now, if ADC goes to convention, and it almost certainly will, and it will only because that's what Vice President Atiku wants. He will get the ticket. And then a lot of people will walk out, because a lot of people are in that party only for the same thing. They want the ticket. So then ADC will have its own problems. But you raise the issue about the similarity and its weaker experience and what Peter Obi needs to understand. One of the reasons I think Peter Obi is saying, hey, listen, look at me. This is Peter Obi. I'm not here for number 2. I'm not here for convention. I'm here to fly the flag. And he's getting people who are saying to him, initially in whispers and politely, and now they're saying to him, listen, join the queue. You're not the only one with ambition here. Look around you in this room. There are 1 or 2 people who have been here from day one, and they're sitting there waiting. And you're walking here and saying, Peter Obi doesn't do conventions, or he just goes there to be anointed. So ADC will bleed after its convention, because almost certainly Vice President Atiku will get the ticket.
And when he does?
And when he does, some people would walk out, because
the party might crumble.
It will be severely damaged.
Now, similarly, public affairs analyst Jide Ojo believes Peter Obi is likely to leave the African Democratic Congress ADC for another party ahead of the 2027 election if he fails to win the presidential primaries. Still on a televised interview that he said Atiku Abubakar might outspend Peter Obi, particularly if they are going to conduct indirect primaries. He claimed that Atiku wants to be the front line in terms of determining who will succeed or who will be the candidate of the ADC. He, however, noted that Obi, a former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, has brought some excitement to opposition coalition. Ojo recorded that Obi has said unequivocally that he is going to be on the ballot in 2027. Take a listen.
It's about, we've got this morning.
Is if you see what's happening in the media space, Atiku has said repeatedly he's not going to step down for Peter Obi, and the Obidian movement are watching. 2 issues are plaguing ADC as of now. The issue is the reason why Atiku lost in 2023 is because he's a northerner, and the power ordinarily should shift to the south. So that's why Nyesom Wike led the G5 governors to work against the interest of Atiku, that they cannot in good conscience support another northerner to be the president of Nigeria for another 8 years. So if Atiku becomes the candidate of ADC in the coming months, definitely there will be reaction from the southern political juggernauts within the party. So far, it's Peter Obi that have brought some verve, some excitement into ADC. I watched the live transmission of his former defection from Labour Party to ADC on December 31st, 2025. And on that day, at least about 4 senators from Southeast, about 16 House of Reps members from Southeast, and an indeterminable number of State House of Assembly members said they were defecting with him. When Atiku Abubakar defected weeks before, towards the end of November, I didn't see any serving lawmaker or governor defecting with Atiku Abubakar, yet he wants to be the front line in terms of determining who will succeed or who will be the candidate of ADC. And the rumor mill has it that Atiku has been a very good benevolent spender when it comes to party primaries, which is why there are fears in certain quarters that he may have spent P2B, particularly if they are going to do indirect primary. And the question then arises, if whether he spends or he doesn't spend, let's leave the issue of spending or inducement, let's leave it out of the equation. Assuming without considering that in a free and fair primaries in ADC, Atiku emerges, I can see Peter Obi likely going to lead the ADC for another party. He has said unequivocally that he's going to be on the ballot in 2027. What does that tell you? If somebody says, I will be on the ballot, it's only the prime candidates, the candidate of the party that will be given certificate of return, even though it's the logo of the party that will be on the ballot. But what Peter Obi means is that he's not going to play a second fiddle.
Now it is time to discuss. Joining me to help analyze this is Tunde Kolawole. He is a current affairs analyst. Of course, he's a legal practitioner. Barrister Kolawole, thank you very much for joining us on Matters on Voice of the People 90.3 FM.
Good afternoon, my brother. And I want to say a very lovely afternoon to all the people listening for this afternoon.
Okay, let's talk African Democratic Congress, ADC. When the coalition was first put together some months ago, it came with lots of fanfare, with lots of Nigerians expectant. But it turns out it's not going to be straightforward as it is. There were a lot of Nigerians were hopeful when you see how terrible PDP has become. They have scattered, for lack of a better word, and the Labour Party, as soon as they lost the presidential election in 2023, a lot of things was unraveled, and ADC, Labour Party is not no better than what PDP is. There was optimism for some Nigerians that dissatisfied with the APC government, that ADC is going to be a formidable opposition party. But well, it's not a 1 + 1 = 2 in this case. So what do you think of the analysis of the former spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum, Akim Baba Ahmed, and of course the public affairs analyst talking to Shenwo Kimbaloye, saying ADC will bleed after the convention the convention of ADC, and Tunde Ojo saying that a lot of ADC will scatter. I mean, they've had some legal issues, certainly not as bad as the situation that PDP and LP is right now, but a lot of things will happen. A lot of dissatisfied members will leave, and predicting that Peter Obi might end up leaving the ADC too. What's your take on both of these analyses?
Well, let me quickly say that when you look at the analysis of those two gentlemen, you tend to agree with them that it is not yet El Dorado, and that the ADC as a political party has a gargantuan task ahead of it for it to become a formidable political opponent to the ruling party in Nigeria today. Furthermore, the vested interest of the juggernauts in there, of all the individuals in there, you have Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, you have Peter Obi, of course too you have the former governor of Rivers State, who hasn't been speaking much, lately. The vested ambitions of those three people, and even some other more, who appear to me, if they are unable to manage it, may become a centrifugal force that will blow the APC apart as a political party. In addition, when you look at the history of political amalgamation or a union or team up to fight another political opponent in this country, it has never worked as such. I remember, especially between 1979 and 1983, Ibofefe Awolowo, Dr. Nandazikwe, and then of course Madam Aminu Kano worked really very hard. They worked really very hard to make sure that they came together, they became one political party to fight the National Party of Nigeria. In the First Republic too, you had all sorts of amalgamation and all that. The action group marked with the Middle Belt Convention or whatever, led by Joseph Taka and all that. At the end of the day, most of those mergers, amalgamation, cooperation agreement and all that, they unraveled at the end of the day. They really didn't produce the kind of result that those who went into them wanted them to produce. So if Alhaji Baba Akim and then Ojo are saying all these things, they may be taking the antecedents from history. But even for me, the reason why it will not work is beyond all that. It appears to me that the agent provocateur, there is an agent provocateur somewhere that really doesn't want any formidable political party again, apart from the ruling party. So they're doing everything, almost on a daily basis, everywhere, to make sure that no party ever emerges strong again or stronger than the ruling party. Such as they are working very hard, as they are laboring very hard to really make themselves formidable. Somebody somewhere is throwing spanners into the wheels of this amalgamation of this political party. And what are they? But the danger in that is very, very many. One party doesn't make a democracy. Any country where you have just one political party that is strong and all the other ones are not strong enough to challenge that party and all that, democracy has never worked well. Look at what is happening in Kenya today. Look at what is happening in
Uganda.
Look at Guinea-Bissau. I think the army has taken over again in Guinea-Bissau and what have you. This is because there are no alternatives to the ruling party. The ruling party never allowed any alternatives to really grow, to germinate, grow, develop, and be able to contest their power or contest itself in the political arena. So, and when things are like that, it will lead to what I would call frustration. And when frustration comes in, people will engage in self-help. And when people engage in self-help, anarchy will set in. And when anarchy sets in, is either it will lead to a coup d'etat, and if it doesn't lead to a coup d'etat, it will lead to a collapse of that democracy, or even a civil war at the end of the day. So this is the scenario, this is the frightening specter. This is the specter, the danger that is staring all of us in the face, that if this ADC alliance or if this amalgamation doesn't work, the consequences on this democracy, the consequences on the health of the nation will be very, very grave for all of us as a people. For most people now, they think it is just the business of politicians. It doesn't bother out whether they're able to emerge, whether they're able to sort themselves out and all that. But I'm saying it today, that if that matter does not work, and that there's only one political party that's only able to bid for power effectively and what have you, it will most likely lead to frustration among the rank and file of politicians and even the voters. And when frustration sets in, there's going to be self-help. And when self sets in, the danger is that you might have anarchy. And where you have anarchy, civil war, military takeover, collapse of democracy is not far from such a shores. And so who may take the ticket? Well, I listen to also the other analysts and what happened. It is good to have ambition, but it would appear to me that one's personal ambition should not override the interest of the nation as a whole. I foresee a situation in which the Southeast may be putting pressure on Obi if he loses the election to kind of accept a vice presidential candidate and what have you. And when we agree, Dr. Ezekweme was once vice president in this country, and he made a meaningful impact, not just in the southeast, but all over Nigeria. If that democratic experiment, the Second Republic, has not been terminated, the possibilities are that Dr. Ezekweme would have become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was very, very right. He was a well-educated man, very civilized, very opaque, highly decentralized, and then a technocrat. He had everything that it takes for him to become the president of Nigeria. But lo and behold, that experiment, that democratic experiment was scuttled by President Muhammadu Buhari, the army general then. He took over government, and that didn't come to fruition. Furthermore, it's not impossible. It's possible for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to do without Obi and still do well in the election. Why do I say this? When you look at the history of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's political activism and participation and all that, you will find out that he has always had very, very strong showing, not just in the north and the middle belt, but also in the southwest and even in the southeast. Osun State, for example, Oyo State, for example, most time whatever party that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar belongs to and all that have many times won the election in there. The first wife, Mrs. Titi Atiku, comes from Osun State, from Malaysia, where the secretary of ADC also comes from now, Rauf Aregbesola. So if Atiku Abubakar wins or gets a presidential flag, people like Aregbesola will have no alternative other than to work for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to win in Osun State, and then maybe Oyo State with Makinde and Amen, and also to win on Oyo State. Makinde is out of it now. Makinde is still there. He's in PDP. If Aregbesola doesn't work for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the possibilities that the Jesha people and so many people in Osun State and all that will frown at it and even throw stone at it is very, very high. You talk about resources and all that. Well, it is not true. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is not as buoyant as he used to be anymore and all that. If he was that buoyant, he wouldn't always be shopping for vice presidential candidates from the oil-rich Niger Delta of Nigeria. The reason he does that, he has done that about 2 times now, I think, and Igbo first, and then somebody from the Niger Delta. He wanted Wiki at one time, and then he went for for the Delta State governor, which didn't work. It's because he will require the finances, the money, the resources from those places to really power his election. And he wanted that because he is not as buoyant as like we have, like the did for Obi and all that.
Now, let's talk about the implication of Atiku Abubakar's ADC ticket now.
Okay.
Let's not forget, it was the fact that he became the flag bearer of PDP that started. I mean, PDP have been a little fractured before that convention, but what finally made PDP gave in was when he got the ticket of the PDP, considering it was the time of the South. Now, there are still a lot of Nigerians that respect the gentleman agreement. I mean, it's not a constitutional thing, but more like a gentleman agreement where it's going to be north, south, north, south. It was supposed to be the turn of the South. And Atiku, who is from the north, who as big as he is in the north, doesn't really have an overwhelming acceptance, even in the north, became the flag bearer of the ticket. And of course, some aggrieved PDP members decided to scuffle his chances of being the presidential ticket, of being the president rather. Don't you foresee the same thing happening in ADC, where, and some ordinary Nigerians, that hey, it is still the turn of the South, so let the Southerner, most likely Peter Obi, clinch the ticket of the ADC. If an Atiku comes back to scatter the ADC the way he scattered the PDP, don't you think that will be a disadvantage? So bad that even a Peter Obi vice presidency may not quench that fire. And Peter Obi already even said it unequivocally, made it very certain that he is going to be a presidential ticket come 2027. He did not join ADC to be second fiddle. That is a very powerful statement.
Well, I agree with you. There is no doubt about that. That there's a lot of sentiment in southern Nigeria, in Yoruba land, in the southeast, and the Niger Delta, that the gentlemanly agreement between Nigerian politicians and the Nigerian people should be respected and all that. And that if it is not respected, it could lead to a lot of problems, not just within the APC, but even also within the rank and file of the average Nigerian people. But the truth of the matter is that even within this community that we are talking about, have they also been respecting the gentlemanly agreement among themselves? You will find that in some places, in some states, and there's also this gentlemanly agreement that maybe if an Ijoma is governor today, we should allow an Ibibio man to be the governor.
Yes.
After 8 years.
A lot of states have them, even in Cross River State, where I'm from. They have it too among politicians.
Exactly. Have the politicians respected those gentlemanly agreements in those places? The answer is no. I'll give you one example. It's difficult to become the governor of your state today if the people of Ibadan, if our people in Ibadan do not support you.
True.
Ibadan has about 11 local governments.
Yes.
With millions of voters who can decide the fate of any governorship aspirant in some of those states and others.
But the power solely lies with Ibadan people.
You said?
I said, but the power solely lies in the hands of Ibadan people.
Exactly. In Kwara State too today, if the people of the Ilorin area don't support you and you want to be governor, there is no way you can be governor in Kwara State. No matter what gentlemanly agreement they say you people have entered into and war at you. I think the only thing that can work against people like Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is his age and all that. And then the resources and of course federal might. And if insecurity continues as it is today, if inflation continues to go hyper the way it is now, and if the disaffection in the north, which is palpable, continue to be, the possibilities are that the floor may be open to any of those leading candidates, either in the APC or in the PDP, if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar gets it, or some other persons somewhere else, to really win the election. Resources at the center of these things, because the average Nigerian person really don't see much difference between all these positions that we are talking about.
True.
Obasanjo was there for 8 years. What the difference did it make in the life of the Yoruba people as a people of Nigeria? Because their man was there. Jonathan was there for about 6 years or thereabouts. What difference did it make in the life of the Niger Delta people of Nigeria? So the airlines is their own personal interest. That is a paramount system. The interest and then dividend democracy becomes what I feel second thing to them once they have won the election. Then you must also not forget there are some thinking in Nigeria today that giving the average Nigerian politician a second term has never been too helpful to the Nigerian politics and to the Nigerian economy. As soon as they win the second term and war at it, they go to sleep and begin to help themselves, begin to secure themselves.
Because at that point, they really have nothing to lose.
Exactly. You are not going back to them for any votes and war appeal and all that. So, politically speaking and all that, I think Obi should be more tactical in the way he handles this thing. AD is on the side. Honestly speaking, if the ADC put Obi down today as his flag bearer, as his presidential candidate, there is no way Obi can win this election. He doesn't have structure in there. All the people who are coming to the ADC today, over in the ADC today, are people who have worked at one time or the other with, I think, either in the PDP or either in Social Democratic Party.
So you think ADC stand no chance either with whether Peter Obi becomes the presidential flag bearer or Atiku?
I doubt it, honestly speaking. I doubt it.
Despite the might of the obedience movement and the other political juggernaut in the ADC, that's difficult. That's hard to believe.
The obedience movement is only now on paper. Look, Aisha Yusuf and some of these people who make noise on the social media and the newspaper on the internet and all that will not be the one who decides who casts the vote. They don't believe they have different constituencies. How many of them did Aisha Yusuf deliver a constituency to Obi? Did Sanko did he deliver his constituency to Obi?
Now let's get this straight. You think ADC not stand a chance, will not stand a chance, not because of the election, not because they wouldn't vote, they just make noise on social media, or is it not because of the electoral structure? Because I mean, even some politicians have come out to say Peter Obi and the Labour Party actually won that presidential election, although there were no evidence to show for it. Don't you think it's because of the electoral structure and not because people didn't really come out to vote for Labour Party? Because I monitor that election, and I know the number of people, dissatisfied Nigerians that came to vote out APC. Even though I can't exactly say Labour Party won because I don't have evidence for that, but you could see the enthusiasm from dissatisfied Nigerians, especially youths, that were eager to take APC out of power after the Muhammadu Buhari administration.
I agree with you. But the question I would now pose in providing answers to the questions you have asked is the momentum that pushed up Peter Obi that makes it possible for him to win the presidential something in Lagos, for example. Are they still there? Most of the young people.
It was little evidence when he officially announced his defection from Labour Party to ADC. I mean, the public affairs analyst Tunde Ojo even alluded to that.
That's a what?
That it was quite evident that the obedient movement is still very present and still strong when Peter Obi officially announced his defection from Labour Party to ADC.
The man is not facing reality. Most of the active ones among them, most of the strategists among them, most of them who are sitting on some good money among them, most of them have gone into exile. Don't forget, it was the uprising against the Nigerian people that metamorphosed into the obedient movement. And then the obedient movement now joined the political fray. That if certain persons were going to be coming out and killing us, have no respect for our lives this way, then we had better look for political solutions. That is when they became, they fused into they enter into the arena of politics and then joined the Labour Party and the obedient movement, with also the activities of people like Namdekano, IPOP in the Southeast and all that. Those are the momentum that propelled Obi into prominence politically. Unfortunately, he hasn't managed that momentum properly. Secondly, his political opponents too haven't gone to sleep since those incidents happened. They've been doing all sorts of things and taking all sorts of action to weaken that political movement. And because, strictly speaking, Obi isn't too much of a seasoned politician that the people he's contesting elections with and all that, they've burrowed into his power base.
He's not a seasoned politician, or he's not a ruthless politician like these other ones. Because
And
he
reading
he may not be in politics as long as these ones, but let's not forget he's a former governor of Anambra State.
Look,
That is a
former
credential of
British
its
Prime
own.
Minister, a former British Prime Minister, that is Britain, somebody who has been Prime Minister in Britain, once wrote a book and said politics is a jungle. And politics, the field of politics is a jungle in which things are never done in a very, very straight manner. You and I were talking privately this morning, and I was telling you that even the Europeans have bought our bad habit of buying and selling votes. That they have even started to start ballot boxes in some European countries. And also look at the way Donald Trump is behaving in the U.S. Would anybody have thought that was possible from 15, 20 years ago? That an American president who have no regard for the rule of law, who have no regard for the police, who have no regard for the court, who have no regard for the legislature. He's been ruling America, signing, using executive bills. And executive bills are supposed to be used in periods of emergencies alone. And when the legislator doesn't have, when the legislator is incapable, not for one reason or the other, where he's unable to sit and deliberate on bills and the papers sent to them. So, I am not too sure that with the kind of handicap, serious handicap that is facing the opponents of the ruling party, financially, state passive power, and then the hunger that is in the land today, whether they might be able to surmount all those problems. People have never asked the question, how come the obedient or the labor was said to have won the presidential elections in Lagos, and then they lost the governorship, the governorship election, another subsequent election woefully. A lot happened within those 1 week. Nobody in all the different opposition parties today have gone out there to study what really happened and came out with a prognosis of how to stop that kind of a thing from happening again.
Now,
so I don't the people that will snatch power from the government that is not deeply entrenched.
Now let's talk.
Look at the number of governors behind the ruling party.
Now let's talk. Peter Obi's chances. Yeah. The obedience movement is they are divided. There are some that are desperate for President Tinubu and APC to leave power. So because of that, they don't care who becomes the presidential ticket of ADC. They just want someone formidable enough to take Tinubu and APC out of power. So those people wouldn't mind an Atiku become the presidential flag bearer, and and Peter Obi seconding him, and those with the notion, with the optimism that with Atiku's money and Peter Obi's power of votes from the obedience movement, they will be able to take APC and Tinubu out of power. But then you have the other side of obedience movement that says it must be Peter Obi as president or nothing. It must be Peter Obi as president or nothing. And Peter Obi too, with that pronouncement, with that interview where he said he will be in the presidential ballot come 2027. I'm not here to be second to anybody. What do you think will happen if Peter Obi loses out to Atiku? Because that's what it look like. Do you think he will grit his teeth, put his pride aside, and become the vice president to Atiku, hoping that will be enough to take Tinubu and APC out of office? Or do you think he will leave ADC and locate another political party?
Well, I would not want to be too presumptuous that Peter Obi will lose the presidential flag or ticket to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
It's increasingly looking like that, don't you think so?
Yes, it is looking like that, but politics is not played that way. Just like they always say, 3 plus 2 in politics is never 5. I will give you an example. When the Yoruba people were asked to bring a candidate to contest because of what Abiola suffered and what have you, and then the Yoruba elders asked Chibulufala and Chibolaiki to go and quiet us, to go and contest, and then whoever wins among them becomes the flag bearer, and then the Yoruba candidate. They went to the Yorubans in Ibadan there to do a secret ballot and war. Majority of the people voted for Olufalaye and they didn't vote for Chibolaiki. Why? Because they think Chibolufalaye will be more sellable for all the different people across Nigeria than the controversial Chief Bolaiki. So it is also not impossible that certain persons will look at different factors and say, look, Atiku Abubakar is too old for this job. They can also say, it will be against the unwritten agreement, the gentlemanly agreement that we have had as a person, as a nation, to give this ticket to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
Now, sorry to cut you short.
There are so many factors that come in there that we cannot say automatically Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has gotten the ticket.
Sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
One thing political analysts will say Atiku is similar with Tinubu in the sense that they are desperately ready to do anything to become president. With that desperation and with the money Atiku will have, do you think Peter Obi will be able to play the kind of game that Atiku is ready to play, considering how desperate he is? But a lot of political analysts will insist to be the president of Nigeria.
See, my brother, let me tell you this, and I'm repeating it. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is not as wealthy as he used to be again.
But secondly, still have a lot of money, even bigger than Peter Obi.
He's not as wealthy as he used to be again. And I gave 1 or 2 examples. If he's that wealthy, he wouldn't be shopping for people from the Niger Delta who have oil money as running mates. He wouldn't be. The second one is that he can command, he has what I would describe as a kind of, he has loyalties all over the country, and he enjoys considerable goodwill all over the country. But this time around, the considerable goodwill that he had, many people may not make it available to him for so many reasons. In order not to anger or provoke the ruling party, they may not make it available to him. You know, we are hearing from the grapevine. I didn't confirm this. That part of the reasons initially Dangote had some problems was that he gave money to the PDP, and then the Buaman gave money to the APC and what have you. And because of that, when the APC won the elections, they were not too disposed to him. That was in the grapevine. Like I said, I didn't confirm it.
Okay.
So the goodwill that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar could command, or has the capacity to command among the business community and the airlines all over the country and all that, a lot of people may be reluctant to make that available to him because of the fear of the ruling party.
Okay.
And then all the governors who have now automatically transited into the ruling party and all that.
Okay.
So, but be that as it may, Obi also has his own shortcomings. Does he have the kind of goodwill that, for example, President Bola and Tinubu have? Does he have the kind of goodwill that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar have all over the country? How many people can close their eyes and put 2-3 billion into Peter Obi's presidential campaign when they are not sure that he will win the elections? Furthermore, most people who win elections in this country, or most people who contest elections in this country, don't use their personal resources. It is their friends in the businesses. It is their friends in the diaspora. It is their families. who contribute the money. I was reading the paper recently and all
some will argue that Tinubu used his vast resources, vast wealth to win the election.
Yeah,
I mean, he's so rich he doesn't. He's so
doubt.
rich he doesn't need support from anyone, at least financial support.
That's not true. That's not true. Asiwaju's money enough cannot win the presidential election of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Really? I mean, he's been known as the richest politician in Africa.
I doubt it. I doubt it. We see a lot of these conjectures being made. If having goodwill among the business community is different from your own personal money and all that. Most of the big businesses or most of the businesses doing well today and all that were probably or mostly people that Asiwaju has at one time or the other helped in different ways or the other. There are people he has helped.
Okay. Because of time.
All over the years are also there.
Because of time, if peradventure Atiku becomes the presidential flag bearer and Peter Obi decides to leave ADC, what political party will you advise he goes? And do you think he will have the time to put things in place, considering how short it will be? Because a lot of obedient movements may not agree with this statement because some of them tend to have this unrealistic optimism. One of the things that did Peter Obi in 2023 was the fact that Labour Party didn't have huge party structure.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you still need party agents. You still need support of local government chairman and ward chairman, and they didn't have that to help galvanize the evidence that is required to actually convince the judges that Peter Obi actually won the 2023 election. You need those evidence, and you need those grassroots politicians to help you do that. Labour Party did not have that, like the PDP and the APC. So if he joins another political party, will he be able to galvanize those grassroots politics to monitor, considering the rugged electoral system we have here, to do a proper monitoring to make sure at the different polling booths and polling units there is no cheating?
That's a very great question. I regret to say that if he decides to leave the ADC and form a new party or go into another party to contest elections and all that, it is too difficult. Once the time is short for him to put the structure in place now. Secondly, he will require enormous resources to be able to do that. Where will that resources come from? The man is already complaining now that the ruling party are fighting and destroying his business, that he is losing money and all that. If that is the case, will he be ready to risk everything, all that is remaining of his wealth that have not been destroyed or that they are not attacking? Furthermore, political structures are not built overnight. Look at even the president that we are talking about. Look at how many years he has been at it, building political structure, spreading the tentacles, asking some of his lieutenants to go to some other states to go and contest elections as governors and senators and what have you, and they are winning. Even look at the activities, I'm sorry to say this, his son, Sheyi, I admire that young boy. Look at the goodwill, look at the structure, the boy is already building all over the country. All those translate into winning election, all those translate into goodwill. Abiola didn't just win the election that he won. It was the water, it was the seed he has been showing all over the country. Through philanthropy, through sports sponsorship,
Peter Obi has been doing the same thing. I mean, he's contributed. He's contributed.
Not at the scale in which these people are said to be doing. And then we must not forget, this is the reality of life. Peter Obi is coming from a tribe that is not as big as these two other people that we are talking about. And in Africa, most parts of the world now, tribe has become an issue. Even in Europe, see the way the Europeans, the Londoners are demonstrating against immigrants. They are even going to the hotel where immigrants are kept and chasing them out. That they, the citizens are not staying in a hotel, and asylum seekers are not in hotels, and they enjoy their life. Look at the way Donald Trump is using the police, arrest immigrants and deporting them. So tribe has become an issue today. I'm not too sure that the Yoruba people will turn overnight and say they no longer will support Tinubu, and then it is Peter Obi they will now begin to vote for. Yes, a few of them who, for one reason or the other, are not that. They all pass. They have a role to play, and in the north, the others have a role to play. There are a lot of factors. That is one of the handicaps that Jonathan had at that period in time, was that he came from a minority tribe in which that could be easily emasculated.
Okay.
And they indeed emasculated him.
Okay, because of time, we have to end it here. So we'll open the phone lines for our viewers and on YouTube, and of course listeners to have their contribution. Thank you very much, Barrister Kolawole. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That was Tunde Kolawole, legal practitioner and current affairs analyst, right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and the show is Matters. Okay, it's time to open the phone line 0700-903-903-903. Again, 0700-903-903-903. And 0803-692-9933. Again, 0803-692-9933. You can also call or text us via WhatsApp 081-717-56338. Again, 081-717-56338. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us in where you're calling from, please.
My name is Akodeba. I am calling from Apapa.
Okay, Akodeba, go ahead. Yes.
I 100% disagree with your guest in so many submissions he made. 100% disagree with him. Number one, Obi is not coming from a minority tribe. That is number one.
No, he didn't say Obi comes from a minority
He said
tribe.
so, and because I listened to him with a keen interest.
No.
Okay,
No.
Wait. Let me make my point.
Okay.
He said Obi is not coming from the large ethnic group where the two Atiku and Lugu is coming from.
Yeah,
he
politically,
said Obi is not coming from that large group. So the Southeast is not a minority tribe. Let him get that one clear.
Okay.
Number two is what makes Obi win Lagos is because of bad governance. That people are yearning for good governance. And that bad governance is at his peak as we speak right now. Nigerians are yearning for good governance. Number three, Nnamdi Kanu have nothing to do with Obi winning Lagos because he alluded to that. Okay? So let him get that one very clear.
He didn't say anything about it. What exactly
he
were
said
you
it. He
listening
said
to?
it. The barrister said it.
No.
He said it. Okay. No. He said it. He said obedient movement coupled with Nnamdi Kanu whatever. He said it. Okay. I listened to him with a keen interest.
Really?
It has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Nigerians are yearning for good governance. Okay. And that is when Nigerians rallied around Obi when they see a competent leader. And Nigerians are going to replicate that. So him trying to beat around the bush, trying to whip up one or two sentiments, I think he should analyze things as he should be. Right now, our country is...
Akodiba, let's make this a conversation.
Yeah, yes.
He's being realistic in the sense that with the kind of election, remember we're talking about electoral reform here, right?
Yes.
If this election, the kind of electional process we had in 2023, continues in 2027, do you still think Peter Obi will win? That's what he was talking about.
Okay. Electoral reform. Every one of
Yes.
us are canvassing for electoral reform.
And you think
But
that will,
if-
you think that will happen between now and 2027?
I don't know. But look at my
At the end of the day, a lot of that depends on the electoral reform that people are clamoring for.
This is what we are. This is what we, because I am unobedient, and you knows about that.
Yes.
Unrepented one.
Yes.
At that, I am asking Obi, as he is in the ADC as he speaks right now. Let him contest for ADC tickets. Okay, if he did not win the ticket, if Atiku wins it, and they extend the hand of let him be the vice to Atiku, he should let him go ahead and become the Atiku's vice. Okay, with that, they cannot rig anything even without electoral reform. If they have overwhelmingly votes, like Obi, assuming he got 6 million votes the last time, and okay, let's say,
you think APC and Tinubu will sit down and allow the repeat of what happened in 2023 to
Nigerians
continue?
cannot sit down and watch them do what they did the last time.
What would they do?
Because we are going to resist it. That is just the truth. That is just the truth. Because we are talking about our country here. We are talking about our future here. We are talking about the future of our children. Okay? All our eyes must be on our vote. We are going to protect our vote legitimately. Okay? We are not going to go by violence, but what we operate will be what will be counted.
And that is the thing. You are not going to go by violence. But
No,
let's not forget the violence, some of which characterized the 2023 elections. Where I monitored a lot of these elections. I know some of the violence.
Likewise, me too, because I happen to be LP agent in where I am. Okay? So what am I saying here? If we have overwhelmingly voters comes out, they can't do anything. They can't do otherwise than to give Nigerians what Nigerians are bargained for.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for calling. 0700-903-903-903 and 0803-692-9933. Let's pick this WhatsApp call. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us where you're calling from, please.
Thank you. This is Uche calling from Iba.
Okay, Uche, go ahead.
Yeah, I listened to what your analyst was saying. In the first place, he's biased and it sounds like a tribal bigot.
No, he's not.
I have no apology for
it's your sentiments talking. He's not.
Yes,
by listening to every analysis.
As a lawyer, I have no apology for this. Because what is killing Nigeria and what is killing Africa is our pendant to sweep the truth under the carpet. So are you telling me if Nigeria does things the way it should be done, Obi will not win any place hands down?
And that's exactly what he was saying. You didn't. You
didn't
analyze.
Say that, bringing all these tribal sentiments, bringing all this
wait. You don't think there's tribal sentiments
from this certain side. This kind of
believe it or not, that happens. You don't think there's tribal sentiment in our elections? Oh, it looks like you can't even hear me.
No, I'm hearing you, Yamgo. When will Nigeria get it right? Because if a lettered person, somebody who is educated, is sounding this way, that means we have a very long way to go.
Hello, he's being realistic. He's not talking about. He's not talking about what he's supposed, what the ideal situation should be.
I know I have limited time. When the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, knew that if he forward himself, he will fare woefully against Jonathan. Even he declined being the vice president. Then they went and they brought up Buhari, painted him in such glory that blinded every Nigerian, that he was the best thing that could ever happen to Nigeria. So what stops Atiku from borrowing a leaf from that for what happened in 2015, Can't Atiku step down and support somebody who has that credibility to have overwhelming supporters all across the country? Must Atiku feature in every election?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's leave space for others to talk. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
Now, this is the unrealistic optimism we are talking about here. There's a difference between what should be and what is, and I think that's what Barrister Tunde Kolawole is talking about. Is it? Now, in an ideal situation, this is what should be, but because of the politics we practice in Nigeria, this is the reality. Nigeria practice politics of money. If you don't have money, or you have money you're not ready to spend, or you're not playing the kind of dirty politics that your opposition is playing, it will be very, very difficult for you. And in a nutshell, that was what he's trying to say. But I think because of the unrealistic optimism that a lot of us have, we tend to reanalyze what he's talking about with a different eye. That's unfortunate. Hello, let's pick these WhatsApp messages. Hello. Oh, wait, we lost the connection. Can you hear me, please?
Hello, Solo.
Yes, so welcome to VOP.
Yeah, this AB from Epe.
AB, okay.
If they tell them they're not the year. See, your analyst has said the main thing: goodwill around the country. The current president has goodwill. You said something. He said
no. He didn't say goodwill around the country. Goodwill among politicians.
Goodwill among the business. He said goodwill among the business society.
Yes, business and politicians. Yes, not around the country. They are two different things.
Atiku has money like the president has money, but that goodwill, he has helped a lot of people. Are you getting me? Even when he became governor the first time, he did not contest. It was given to him as a dash. It was Funsho William that won, but they dashed him because of how he helped them in Adeku. Are you getting me? And now there's something going on. This mobilization, revalidation. That thing is to give. He has won already. The man don't win 2027. Make I just tell you that mobilization, e-registration that they are doing. This state is giving 2 million. Another one is giving 2 million. Kano, they say they are going to give 6 million. Are you getting me? He has done the homework. You said something. You said he was talking about philanthropic work. He said Obi also did philanthropic work.
Yeah, he does.
Obi started after 2023. Jagaban has been doing philanthropic work since the days of Abacha and Adeku days. 30 years ago, you can't compare it with somebody that just started. See, what's this man name? This Atiku man, this Ovation man, Momodu. He said something last day. He said that 2023, if this man, the current president, can get this party ticket, nobody can stop him. Are you getting it? The man has done, even now he has done his homework. He has evidence to show the world. This they are registration. People are just talking. They are just talking. They don't know what is happening. The man is a political juggernaut.
Thank you.
Grandmaster strategist and grandmaster of coalition.
Thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us where you're calling from, please.
I can't hear you, but I believe you are listening to me. The man that spoke before AB, he said he was a lawyer. He's a lawyer, right? And he condemned the person you spoke with. When he started, he said he was a tribalistic. But here is the same lawyer now. Using tribal bigotry to support Obi. I don't know. When people talk, they should make some calculation about what comes out of their mouth. This is the situation, my brother. Obi decamping to ADC, there's nothing wrong. Has he even decant? Because that Baba said the other day that he has not resigned from the Labour Party. Let's keep that aside.
No, he has actually resigned from Labour
Pastor is a
Party
member
anyway.
of
He
ADC,
has.
and
I know you can't hear me too.
Atiku said everybody should come, which is the right thing. You know, the last time Obi, bear the flag of Pepe, it was Otomi that willingly dropped it for him. I want Obi to do better. Why should Obi or his supporters be afraid of him being taking part in primaries? He should test his popularity. Let everybody go there. Not only the two of them, there are other Satana, the other Natana, who are a member of ADC that want to rule Nigeria. Let all of them go to the primaries and test their popularity. If anybody emerges as the flag bearer of the party, fine. The other people should support it. If anybody don't want to support it, you should go. That's my position. Not that you want to step down for. It's not a right. It's not a right that Atiku must step down for Obi. I don't concur to that fact. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to VOP. Tell us where you're calling from, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My colleague calling from Macaulay.
Okay, my colleague, go ahead.
Thank you, ADC. I'm calling. What you call him? Analyzing for himself. The other man spoke right. Just a result. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, but we can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're fluctuating. Please call us back. We can't hear you. Sorry about that. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to VOP. Tell us where you're calling from, please.
This is Chief Joseph, calling from Okafor.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
My dear brother, you see, I listen to the analyst. He may be talking from the academic side and then probably his own side of understanding the Nigerian politics. We are talking about a virile nation, a nation that will give us what we want concerning governance. Among the contestants, if we want to hit the nail by the head, Obi has proven to be a credible candidate, which everybody is attesting to. And then
we know that, but is that enough? Is the question?
It is enough. I have Mr. Solomon, please. Why is it not enough? We are talking about the people that has ruled us. They have not given us the satisfaction of governance.
We know that.
And this man is a man that has been tested in his little capacity, in his own extractive area, and has given that quality which everybody is hungering for. Look, Solomon, if we're not realistic with ourselves, Obi as a person has nothing to lose. We are talking about a united Nigeria where we can get good governance from a leader. Why can't we tell this young man that is coming out for us at this point in time? We are talking about money. If money can buy all the whole thing, like somebody sang, can it give us happiness? It cannot. So if Nigerians are not convinced that this man will test him to give us what we want, to give us a leeway, well, all of us should follow the bandwagon of money, and we continue to suffer what we are suffering now. People are clamoring and crying that we need a change. This man came up in the 2023 election and caused a steer, and that the political arena has never been able to recover from it. He's a singular man, Obi. Then when he now come out properly from a particular place where all these other heavyweights will give him support, do you think we cannot win the election?
Okay.
So if the sentiment that even the educated ones are flying in the air, well, nobody has found anything to lose. We'll continue with our suffering.
Thank you.
Because we refuse to come out from our own ways of sentiment, tribalism, and nepotism.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you very
Solomon.
much. Thank you. Okay, let's take a break from phone calls and read some messages. I have quite a number of them. I mean, when it comes to Peter V and Atiku and ADC and Labour Party, well, need to tend to elicit lots of reactions. So let me kick it off. I have Mitchell helping me out. Hello, Mitchell. Thank you very much. Let me quick start with these. Oh God, some people are flashing me this WhatsApp. They're not even allowing me to read these messages. So, oh God, I think you're okay. Let's see. Please stop flashing. If you want to call, or else you're messing my reading up. Okay. If Peter Obi leave ADC to another party, I will never vote for him. Ayo from Mushi. Now, this is what we're talking about, even among the obedient movement, the divide. And I'm talking, and people are saying his sentiment is that this unrealistic optimism is what will probably just do us in at the end of the day. I said the obedient movement are divided. There are some people that are ready to vote for any other candidate besides Peter Obi, and still have some obedient movement that are saying it either Peter Obi or not. We know Peter Obi is the ideal candidate, but is that enough? Will Atiku allow him to get the presidential ticket? Will he leave ADC and go to another party? Will that party have enough structure besides the backing of the obedient movement to win the 2027 election? These are some of the things we need to consider. The person didn't write his name here. Okay, Atiku is very good and expert in winning primaries. If he insists that he will run against unwritten zoning formula in favor of South, let Tinubu complete his 2-term. Okay. I mean, this further buttresses what I'm talking about. Good afternoon, crew. These factors will never make you have a free and fair, credible election. The election that brought your president is not credible. 2, your president appointed Amukpeton, who is continuing in Yakubu's legacy of rigging for APC. Also, INEC officials are APC affiliates. 3, you have a government that compromised all institutions for election gain, including your cash and carry judiciary, which your judges said on his mandate there shall stand. 4, you still have vote buying and Agbero intimidation, harassment of opposition with your police and army compromised, doing eye service for government. All these factors won't allow electoral reforms under these snatch sheet, grab it and run away government. It's a shame. The worst of us is ruining the best of us. Lekon, I mean, to a large extent, I agree with you, Lekon. Okay, are you ready, Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this one says, good afternoon, Solo. This is Chima Surileri. Let me tell you straight away that your guest speaker did not speak as expected. Advise VOP to screen your guest speakers and know those to invite. The North and South alternate arrangement provides political stability in the country. Okay, that was from Chima. Good afternoon, Velvet Voice on the radio. The man on phone analyzing the topic of the day is talking out of emotion. I don't think he is a member of Obedience. I believe he's an APC supporter. This is how they were talking down Mr. Peter Obi in 2023, but the election result proved them wrong. Let them continue.
What election result? At the end of the day, Tinubu won. So what does it matter?
Let them continue guessing again. They thought they know it all. NS Ezechiku from Akowonjo. Okay, this one says Yamgu. He's not Yamgu, he's Mr. Solomon. Good afternoon, sir. Tell your analysts to keep praising Tinubu. What goes around comes around. Daniel from
he didn't praise Tinubu, but I mean, you're the one that just heard what you wanted to hear.
Atiku will surely pick the tickets of the ADC, and that will be the beginning of the problem of ADC, because everyone wants to be the president without a sacrifice for one another, unlike what APC did in 2015, except they are planning on something behind the scenes that we don't know. Solomon, this is pure politics, no emotion. If Obi is giving the ADC tickets, the average northern Muslims will not vote him. This is the gospel truth. Your guest was right to some extent, but not completely right. John from Ijaniki. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Please, Kolawole is one of the enemy that Igbos have. He's a tribalistic human being. Stop inviting him in this station. I hate people like him. Who doesn't speak the truth concerning our country.
And now this is what we're talking about. You're talking about someone being tribalistic, and you're talking about hate. At the end of the day, you're actually condemning somebody for something you are yourself, which is which is not exactly good. Okay, right. Let's go.
Okay, that's from Tochukwu.
Hate, that's a very strong word.
Good afternoon, Solomon. God bless the first caller, Mr. Aduba. Mr. Peter Obi won Lagos because people are tired of bad governance. By the grace of God, he will win again in 2027. Provided the election is free and fair, we will resist APC.
And now that is the key word, free and fair. And that's the thing a lot of people are not considering.
Okay, that's from Emmanuel in Lagos. And this one says, I'm G-Day by name. See the way they are attacking Barrister. Okay, he said okay, it's calling you Mr. Yambu. It's Mr. Solomon. Okay. APC is behind this Abure saga. They want to put confusion in the opposition. Do you think they will allow them to organize themselves? Barrister is telling you nothing but the truth. People cannot listen. Truth is bitter in Nigeria, don't you know? And I don't know your Igbo people are so adamant. Only God will help us. This one says, hello VOP family, this is Dele from Ilupeju. Obedience cannot force Peter Obi on Nigerians. This is democracy. Is it possible for Obi to win elections in far north and in Muslim-dominated states? Let's be honest, Obi should wait for his turn. Thanks.
And when will his turn be is the question.
Okay. Hello Solomon, please tell people to stop participating in the APC registration. I work in Apapa and one of the APC told me in confidence because presentation of voters card is compulsory, and once they collect your voters card, they will copy the serial number. The serial number will be used to transfer your vote. People should stop registration for APC from Sunday in Apapa Ajao. Okay, good afternoon to you in the studio. Your guest said that Obi has no structure. It was what they said in 2023 and he still won the election. From Valentine Ikotu,
no,
Lagos.
He didn't say Obi has no structure. He said the political parties that he will be in don't have the structure for now, besides the obedience movement. He said that. So did you read this? Good afternoon, King Solomon. Tell me the rest people that Tinubu is the richest politician in Nigeria. Please, I want to know Tinubu. I want to know how Tinubu made this money. How many factories, companies, and organizations, and his worth before he became governor of Lagos State. Peter Obi earned his money through hard work than Tinubu. Tinubu got his money through manipulation. Peter Obi won 2023 general election. Even El-Rufai and many other people have said it clearly that Peter Obi won the 2023 general election. But INEC and the judiciary sold out. Mr. Solo, the election forms, without election reforms, what happened in 2023 general election will happen again, because APC will keep their blind followers and battle ready. Oh God, arise and trouble those that trouble Nigeria. Mayor from Ikotuegbe. Okay.
Good afternoon, VAP and August Solo. Well done. I really like the subject of discussion this afternoon, and I'm very pleased with the way your analysts dissected the matter. In the truth of the whole matter, minus sentiment, Obi cannot emerge as a president in this country right now with the way the politics is being played. Only if he is ready to play like the rest, all of this is holier than thou attitude will not get him the presidency of this country. He should be ready to muddy himself and clean up later when the desired result is achieved.
And that's the truth that a lot of the obedience movement will not want to accept, unfortunately. Continue.
Else, he's not going to ever be the president of this country. With the current way the politics of the country is, in a nutshell, Obi is tight-handed. You need to be thrown money here and there to get what he wants. This is my honest opinion. When you are a Rome, you eventually become a Roman. Thanks. Abraham from Mafaluku. Good afternoon, Nigerians. I'm done. Peters from Japan. My take on happening in Nigeria's. Okay. Good afternoon in the studio. We all know that only Atiku and Obi combined have the number to win, and we know Atiku can't be vice again. Fine, Obi can contest the primaries, but if he did not win, he needs to vice Atiku so we can outvote, so APC won't be able to rig coming 2027 election. And if Obi don't want that, he could qualify. Okay, it's kind of messed up. Don't want that, he could equally go and start his own party afresh. Olamide from Ikotu. Good afternoon, VOP. Shakanade from Alabama. Oro. I hope Nigerians know that it's only Peter Obi that can take us the heaven in Nigeria. Leave it, eat it or living it. Good day, VOP. Shakan. Okay.
Okay, I'm afraid that Tinubu has greatly and dangerously hypnotized Peter Obi, that has greatly made Obi very docile and confused on this particular feature. Abba, Obi, wake up from your slumber. Nigeria is waiting for you to say something, please. Chinedu from Badagry. It's time is good afternoon. Where Mr. Peter Obi go will follow. Obi is our next president. Eddie Murphy from Agbara. Okay, go on.
Good afternoon, Mr. Yamgo. Mr. Solomon, do you sound like Mr. Yamgo?
Some people say that.
Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. Let me correct it. Anyway, Mr. Obi go. We follow. Mr. Obi is our next president. Eddie Murphy from Agbara. Okay. Solomon, good afternoon. I believe Obi is just making people to be anxious. He knows what he's doing with Atiku. Let's watch and see. Beatrice from Itire. Good afternoon, Solomon. Solomon, please, if you may ask, does it mean that in Nigeria no one win election without the Northerners? I want to know. Good afternoon, Solo. Your analysis is not good at all. Solo, stop supporting your analysis for speaking lies. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. If Peter Obi doesn't get presidential ticket, I would advise that he doesn't take a VP slot. Instead, he stays back and give Atiku a vice president of his own
Mr.
choice.
Solo, I totally disagree with your analyst submission. He is talking about minority tribe. Yeah, he resources the crude oil is coming from the so-called minority tribe. Shame on that your so-called let Yoruba and no, I'm not going to read this. You're sounding tribalistic right now, which is very, very wrong. Well, unfortunately, we have to go. Thank you very much. Now, this is one thing we need to understand. At the end of the day, all the power we are using to say it's Obi must win, Obi must not win, Atiku should be the president of Fabia, all the power we're using for this, let us channel that power and force the government of the day on electoral reform. If we're using the same electoral template we use in 2023 for 2027, we are going to get the same result irrespective of our optimism. At the end of the day, the electoral reforms will play a big part of what happens in 2023. So the energy we're using right now, let's channel that energy into pressuring the government on election reforms. That is the truth. These blind optimism and these will not work at the end of the day. Irrespective of the money or the political somersault or juggernaut, whether Obi is the best candidate or Atiku is the best candidate, whether Tinubu is the best candidate or not. At the end of the day, a lot hinged on the electoral reforms. The electoral template we're using now is very, very faulty. If we don't correct it, the same result is what we're going to get. Let's channel that energy into, again, pressuring the government of the day on electoral reforms. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I'll be right back tomorrow. At the time is 1:30 p.m. on VOP Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The program is Matters. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles at VOP903FM. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP903FM. You can also follow me on IG at Solofem1, SOLOFEM figure 1, and on Twitter at Solomon, at Solofem. Mitchell, thank you very much for your
You're
time.
welcome.
I am Solomon of Fem. See you again tomorrow.